What's up, guys? It is Sam, the Gacha Man. We're back playing Arknights Endfield. I want to talk about 5 tips that the game does not tell you, but they're going to be super helpful and impactful to how you play the game. Some of these I just learned, some of these I've been focusing on the channel, but I want to make sure you guys know all of these. The first one to me was the most mind-blowing because it steadily affects every single thing that you do in the game, and I didn't even know this was possibly something that can be adjusted. So when you're out in the world, you can find random chests, you can find random enemies, and they're all scaled. And they're specifically scaled to your exploration level. So basically when you unlock more, you open more things, you complete more quests, you earn more XP and you level up, you can upgrade your exploration level. To do so, you fight harder enemies, you get better loot. You're basically leveling up everything inside the game. But this is something you can actually go back and adjust. So you press escape, go to the menu, you can see your name down here. I guess I'm in the way a little bit. I'll move myself over here. You can see your name down here and you can see your exploration level. I'm at exploration level 4. You can click on this and it tells you all about it. Exploration level reflects the inmen's exploration of the world. After reaching level 3, the next level up will also require the completion of a trial. Just a reminder, you guys can get $200 worth of rewards in Raid Shadow Legends by clicking the link in the description of the video below. It is definitely worth it. Again, you'll get 1 legendary that's awesome and 3 amazing epics as well. But after you reach exploration level 2, so basically when you're not level 1 anymore, you can manually lower it. After lowering your exploration level, you must wait 24 hours to lower it again. Lowering it will also eliminate the operator level cap, but if your level is exceeded it. So for example, if I go to my operators, Levitain is level 60, and she was capped at 50 on exploration level 3. So if I go back down to exploration level 3, she will be level 50 while I'm fighting, but then I come back to level 4, she'll still be 60. So I'm not like losing the resources, but she will be brought back down to a 50 to scale her back to that exploration level. So that's like a fear, but you don't have anything to worry about there. But you can bring this down and it shows you what it affects. So level cap, the enemy level in various areas, the availability limit and daily regrowth of certain minerals, blah, 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 certain protocol spaces. So you can't beat the highest levels of certain protocol spaces. Severe energy alluvium is unavailable once you go back down to 2 or 3, and then you go back down to 1. It just makes it lower and lower and lower. So I thought this was interesting because a lot of people were talking about exploring and searching for like completion for chests and stuff like that. And there's no real downside to it. I know I saw some people online when we were discussing it, they said that they kind of waited to upgrade the next level until they had a certain level of gear or a certain, level for their operators, something like that. So this can affect how you play the game. I might bring it down to level 3 if I'm just going to focus on collecting all my rare minerals or going around and collecting plants and things like that. Instead of having to worry about fighting a ton of high level enemies, maybe I just go for those easier enemies while I'm collecting those resources. Speaking of resources, another one that is super game changing. I'm sure you may have ran across it randomly. I have seen it a few times, but I've just recently learned, thanks to someone on Reddit, how useful this feature is. So when you're in the map, so right now we are in the Iridium Science Park inside of Valley 4. If you click on this mission reminder thing in the top left corner, you can see key missions. So for example, this outpost is facing imminent incursion, meaning someone is about to attack it, right? There's a risk, and so we can go fight that. And I've seen things like that, right? Which is kind of helpful. But also I have a depot node that I can upgrade. So this is a depot node that I can upgrade. That's pretty interesting. You can see, let's see, if I move over to the hub, I want to say I saw a different one over here. Recycling station upgrade available. You click on that, it'll show, okay, I can upgrade this recycling station, which will give me better rewards, right? Again, another outpost facing imminent incursion. I'm bad about fighting and defending all of these. But I knew that. Maybe you guys didn't, but that's super helpful, especially with the resources. You want to have those maxed out as soon as possible. But the gathering tip I had never seen, and this is crazy. Some rare growths are full, and you can go here and say, okay, I want more of these, right? More pink boletes. So I'm going to track it, and it's going to go as nearby as I can and teleport over, and I'm going to go capture those boletes and grab those. So these are huge resources. A lot of these are very helpful in terms of leveling up characters, leveling up your guns and your weapons or any of your artifacts. And they replenish over time. And basically you're able to set a notification saying that they have replenished. That's really what this is. And it's super, super helpful. So all of these resources are stuff that I really, really want. And now I can simply run over here and grab this, right? So I think that's super helpful. You can use it and it's all region locked. So it's based off of whatever region you're in. It will show you whatever notifications, whatever, this is called the mission reminder tool. So whatever reminders it feels like are relevant for that area, it will show you them, whether you're in Wuling or in Valley 4. So I go over here, boom, 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 boom. I'll scan, make sure I'm not missing any more of them. All of my pink boletes done. So again, this is what I'm talking about. Maybe I lower my exploration level and go find all of these pink boletes. Next tip I have is on the DJing. So once you've unlocked your ship and you go to the OMV DJing, whether you teleport, you can teleport anywhere. Let me see if I can manually find the room, or I might need to just check it on the map. But there is a room inside of here when you choose the game, when you're running through the tutorial, you choose which version of the administrator you would like to be. I chose the male administrator, but a lot of people chose the female administrator. They're both very, very popular. But if you regret your choice, believe it or not, you can actually change. You can go back and you can change to the other version, the other gender of your administrator. So let me find the room. Aha, it is this one over here. So the protocol singularity inside of the OMV Dishang, and I will do it for poops and giggles. I will change over to the female administrator. I know it seems like from most of the content creators that I've been watching and people I've been talking to on Reddit that most people do play with the female and admin. I don't know why. I guess my default is just to select the male character. I'll skip all of this, but you go up to this rock, which the administrator's form. Again, anything like big change like this is going to have a 24-hour cooldown. So I'm going to do this. I have no idea what the cutscene looks like. I've never done this before. I just found out recently that you could do this. We're going to levitate. I guess we're going to go into stasis. He talked about that several times, and boom. Now, we're the female administrator for the next 24 hours at least, or longer. So I thought that was cool. So that was something I had no idea. Now, the next tip is I'm going to talk about two kind of parts, but it's talking about the economy, which is obviously huge, right? So some of it's related to what's here on the base or on the ship. So we can just run over here and talk about it. But the whole game is very, very important to manage your economy, but realistically later and later and later, it becomes a bigger deal because the T-creds become a bigger blocker. My first tip is going to be the stock redistribution terminal. This is something you need to access as early as possible and upgrade as early as possible. There are several maps around the site, several sites around the map. Upgrading it as soon as possible. You can buy stuff at a discount here, but realistically getting these stock bills is super, super important. So buying these things that you need, for example, these Cosmic Gate puzzles, which are amazing. If you're going to buy them, you want to buy them at a steep discount like this. So I can buy 10 of these for 60,000, which is 80% off. I had 240,000, so I feel like that's a good use of my time. But the tip number one is how to make a lot of stock bills, and that is the elastic goods. So the more you upgrade these, the more you can purchase. I can purchase up to 350. So my first tip is never, ever, ever let your can purchase number be the maximum. So if it says can purchase 350 out of 350, I'm not doing my job because it replenishes over time and it's not going to replenish if it's full. So you always want to keep this either empty or lower, not necessarily empty, but I view this as a very simple stock exchange. I go in when I log in the game. It's one of the first things I do. I buy one of the biggest decreasers, especially for something that is expensive. So for example, today, this has gone scrap toy blocks for whatever reason, gone down 69, nice, 69%. So I would buy all of this as much as I could. I did this earlier today and I made about 900,000 stock credits. Again, it only scales up and up and up, but this is huge. So I bought all as I could. And then what you do is you go to your friend's price and you can see all of your friends and how much, and it'll sort typically by the highest. So this guy sells his for 4,881. I paid 617, which is a 691% profit. If you guys know anything about stocks or math, that's unbelievable, massive gains. This is one of the biggest examples I've seen. So tip, 4B is add a ton of friends. The more friends you have, the more prices you're going to see. Because if you're selling for 80%, that's solid, but that's not crazy. So you want more friends. I want more friends. I'm adding random people constantly to make more friends so that I have more chances at making this big money. When you go to people's ships, they get a little bit of that money, but also you get some credits and you can buy more things. So just go in here and randomly add people, right? You don't know what the fear is, what the possible cost could be. Whenever I get a friend request, I accept them all. I have 23 out of 100. I would love to see 100. So if you guys see this video and want to be friends in the game or in real life, let me know. So that is huge. And elastic goods is a big, big, big chance to make money. So do not sleep on that. The last tip I have is both economy and also factory based. So if we go back down to Valley 4, the hub, and the core AIC area, one of the things that I've started making about 2 days ago is batteries. Specifically, I am making the LC batteries. But you can make whichever batteries you have access to and your bases want. The batteries are awesome, so you should absolutely be making batteries. Potentially you should have a whole AIC dedicated to making batteries. But I'm making some over here, making batteries. I have some over here, making batteries, and I have some over here making batteries. So 3 battery making stations, I believe, maybe 4. And reason number 1 for making batteries is because you can use them to power your base. With a thermal bank, you can use batteries. Right? So these batteries last 40 seconds for 220 power. These Originums last 8 seconds for 50 power. So it is 5 times, 20 times as effective, basically. So right now, my base has 800 power. If I were to switch these over to batteries, I think it went up to about 14 or 1500 power, almost doubled my power just from 4 thermal banks using batteries. So right now, I am just stocking up a buttload of batteries as we speak. I have 6,969. Nice. 6.92 thousand. And I'm also using them to sell. So that is, again, 5B of this tip is you can sell batteries for a great profit. So outpost management, the infestation, the second base that you get buys these, and look at how much they buy them for. 16 per, right? So Ferium parts, they buy it 1 per. 1 stock bill for each Ferium part, which is crazy. It takes me a ton of time to make all of these, so I just made 3,000, which is not a lot. But if I sell some of these, I'm going to sell 1,200, and I just made 20.5 thousand stock bills plus outpost prosperity. So it is huge for making money, increasing your outpost level, and also for powering your base. So I'm going to add more batteries into here, more battery making stations. I'm going to start using batteries to fuel it so I can make even more batteries. And it is batteries on batteries on batteries. We are 10xing our batteries so they can 10x our stock bills. So anyways, I had a blast making this video. I feel like I am learning more every single day. Hopefully you guys are as well. If you guys like the content, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all on the next one.